Okay, welcome everybody to our DES 243 layout design, our week 2, session 2 live session. I am your instructor, Shannon McNamara. We'll see if anybody shows up today, but if not, that is all right. I have a full plate of things to go over with you guys today. It's a quick reminder on my telephone hours, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. You can email me anytime, and please check your emails from me. If you are missing any work, I have sent out some emails to see how you're doing. If, try to touch base with you, see if you need any extra help. So please, respond to my emails. That would be great. And also just note that I am located in Eastern Standard Time. So if you do email me late at night, there's a good chance I'm not going to get it until the next morning. And as far as grades go, if you do have some late work that you've been getting in, I haven't gotten a chance to go in and grade that yet today. I'll probably grade either resubmissions or late work tomorrow or possibly the next day. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. So our agenda for today, probably not too many announcements. We'll go over a little recap because we have our midterm this week, and then also go over the assignment for week 2. A reminder about due dates. The assignments and the assessments are due by Saturday for full credit at midnight. Make sure that you're communicating with me. All it takes is an email to let me know that you're going to be late, and that will save you some missed points. Also, week 4 assignments cannot be turned in late. If anything happens while you are uploading, please email the file to me immediately so I'll have it. And your original discussion post is due by Wednesday, and make sure that you're posting on 2 different days. And your responses to your students are due by Saturday. And if you missed the week 1 discussion post, you can still submit it. Just make sure it is submitted by this Saturday. I won't accept week 1's past this Saturday's deadline. So again, our live sessions are Mondays and Tuesdays at 10 a.m. This gives you ample time during the week to get the assignments done. And if you do need any outside help, the Student Success Center is open with tutoring available and no appointment is necessary. Excuse me. I am sorry. Let me just take a sip of water. It is allergy season in here. And I just cleaned, and it smells nice and clean, but I think that the cleaning products are bothering me too. So I do apologize for that. All right, so let's talk about styles. Those are your paragraph styles. Those are your character styles. They enable you to work more efficiently. They speed up your design process. I kind of showed you a little demo yesterday. You can load your styles from an old, any old InDesign file into the InDesign file that you are working on now, which is a really cool trick. So you don't have to sit there. If you find that you like certain fonts, or you kind of have an idea set up of, hey, maybe this would work for this, and I've already done it once, you can load those styles in and then just kind of alter them to fit your, what it is that you're working on that day. So you could go in and, load in a style sheet that has the body copy, the subheadline, the headline, the byline, things like that, and then kind of go in and tweak those styles to work with this design. So you're not completely starting from scratch every single time. So again, just a couple more things that will help you to work efficiently and kind of speed up your design process. We talked a lot about page layout. Page layout typically involves a lot of placement, rearranging, formatting your elements, and many designers approach this process organically. They like to feel their way to a pleasing end result, and sometimes, that can lead to an excellent happy accident, but there's a risk that it's not going to happen, and, using a free-form methodology can really result in a lack of visual balance on the page if you just don't know where to go with it. And that does happen, from time to time. We discussed using a grid in lots of detail yesterday. We went over all the different types of grids and we had some examples. We talked about choosing a single focal point for your design. And then we went over that just Gestalt theory and the 6 Gestalt preferences, which are similarity, continuation, closure, proximity, figure and ground, and then symmetry and order. So for the similarity one, you may remember that I showed the example of the triangles that came together to make the Statue of Liberty image. And, if you looked at it, it was, the similarity was all of the triangles. Those are similar shapes. But then when you stood back and looked at it, the similarity was that it reflected, or it looked like, the Statue of Liberty. Then we had continuation. That was the logo that had the shooting star going through it. So the continuation was that line that ended with the star at the end, which was pretty cool. And then we had closure, which was the World Wildlife Federation logo, and that was the panda, and how your eye could kind of tell where the shapes were supposed to close without actually having to physically close the shapes. Then we had proximity, and there was an example, I believe, that used a whole bunch of squares on the page. That one wasn't as cool of an example. Then we had the figure and ground, which were the 2 candlesticks, or the vase, and then the 2 faces. So it looked like a vase or candlestick in the middle, and then if you looked at the positive space, it looked like 2 faces coming towards each other. Then the last one we had was that symmetry and order, and again, those were those shapes that combined to make that color wheel. And if there was just one of the shapes that was a little bit out of alignment, it really would not have come together. Then we were discussing the rule of thirds. So try to put, the most important information in either the top third or the bottom third of your page, using our white space. And then repeating design elements, just for something to kind of bring some balance to the page. And using hierarchy. So again, I have, a headline that stands out the most, then a subheadline, then my body copy. So you want things to, things of most importance to stand out above the other things. You want to establish that hierarchy. And we can do that by using scale, contrast, and harmony in our design. So you may have noticed, again, in each of those examples, there was a grid. But again, there are different types of grids out there. We went over all 4 of them: the manuscript grid, the column grid, the modular grid, and the hierarchical grid. So our manuscript grid was just that big square. Remember, it was sometimes called the block grid or the single column grid. And it's basically the simplest grid structure. It's just that large rectangle that's taking up most of the space. But we did discuss how you could kind of change the feel of the manuscript grid by adjusting the margins, and even having that rectangle sit asymmetrically on the page. So there were a couple of different things that you could do with the manuscript grid to create, more of a focus on your design, or just to really, change the visual interest in the design. Then we had that column grid, which was the one that I had used and have been using for my examples for the magazine layout that I had done in week 1. So those are kind of, the example that people think of when they think of a grid. They usually have a mental picture of a column grid. And they're really good for discontinuous information. And, the columns can be dependent on each other, or they can be independent of each other. You know, you can cross over the columns with design elements. There tends to be a lot of flexibility when you're using a column grid. Next, we had a modular grid, and I had shown you an example of how Canvas is set up with a modular grid. And that the reason that you can do that is, or that a modular grid is good for complex projects such as the Canvas, app, would be you have more control. You can put information such as charts, forms, navigation, schedules, stuff like that into each module, and it keeps everything in its place. It can help to define a small chunk of information. However, you wouldn't want to do a 1 pixel by 1 pixel modular grid. That would probably get way too complex for you. And then we had that hierarchical grid, and that's the one that's you mostly find these on the web, but they're kind of a loose organic grid that can often be developed spontaneously by just placing design elements and then almost adding the rationale to the placement as a second thought. So sometimes that happens where things, again, work out organically, and you can, you kind of start to say, oh, well, maybe I'll line these two things up and I'll drop a line, and maybe I want this, and I'm going to line a couple of things up over here, and I'll line some of these things up by the height, and it kind of all starts to come together at the end, but it didn't start out that way. So again, to recap, those manuscript grids are the simplest, and they work well when presenting large continuous blocks of text or images. The column grids work well when the information being presented is discontinuous and different types of information can be placed in the different columns. The modular grids work best for more complex problems where columns alone don't offer enough flexibility. And they introduce horizontal spaces between the blocks of content. Sorry, I have a typo right there. Let me fix that. It should be they. And the hierarchical grids can be used when none of the above will work to solve the problem. And they tend to be created organically by first placing those elements on the page and then trying to find a rational structure for presenting those elements. And again, I'm just going to, I apologize, I'm going to mute myself real quick. I'm just going to try to blow my nose and see if I can't breathe a little better so you guys can hear me a little bit better. All right, let's see how that works. All right, so that was, a bunch of the things that we went over in a little bit of a nutshell yesterday, and some of the things that we went over last week as well. So let's take a look at our assignment for this week. Or actually, before we take a look at our assignment, let's just go over the assessment so you understand, kind of what's going on. So for the week 2 assessment, you're going to have a midterm. It's worth 50 points, and there are 15 questions. And here's the kicker. There is no time limit. So please take your time doing this quiz. You can see what is going to be covered by the learning objectives. Make sure that you reference back to the readings and videos. That's where a lot of your content is going to come from. So if you haven't watched any of the videos yet, please try to do that before you take the quiz. If you do need to kind of not stop, but almost like pause yourself and try and, go back to the reading to find the answer, that's okay. Just whatever you do, don't navigate away from the quiz. That's my only thing. And if something should happen where, you start submitting answers and then all of a sudden something happens and you close out the quiz, and if you can't get back in, please let me know. It should let you back in, but just in case, please let me know. Again, you can only take it once, so please take your time with it. And, make sure that you're really reading over the different questions, read over the answers. Sometimes two answers look similar, but there's only one correct answer. And again, the idea behind the two answers might be the same, but go back through the readings and the videos, and that's how you'll be able to find which one is the correct answer. So just, again, take your time. All right, so our week 2 assignment. What we're going to be doing this week is we're going to continue to work in our file that we created last week. So if you are missing your work from last week, please get it in, because it's going to start to snowball, and that makes me a little bit nervous for you, and I want to make sure that that doesn't happen and you're able to, keep up with the class. So please make sure that you are working diligently to get that work done. Let's read over our background for this week. A graphic designer's daily tasks include developing the overall layout and production design for various projects, such as magazines, multi-page brochures, annual reports, and other publications. Learning, understanding, and applying advanced tools such as complex character and paragraph style sheets for formatting text over multiple pages to create a balanced layout will increase the workflow and better prepare the designer to succeed in the graphic design industry. In each magazine, there are several articles. Some are long, some are short, that engage and entertain the readers. For instance, the feature article consists of several crucial elements: headline, sub-headline, author byline, intro, body copy, imagery, and folio information. It's how the designer applies advanced tools for formatting text, including the use of character and paragraph style sheets, to arrange each article and create a balanced layout, which separates a good design from an ordinary one. 2 types of style rules in formatting of text: paragraph styles and character styles, the little sister to paragraph styles. I've never heard of it described that way before, but that's kind of funny. Paragraph style and character style sheets boost productivity and allow you to modify or edit your text with one click. One of the advantages of utilizing complex style sheets is to create and maintain a consistent design throughout your multi-page layout. Creating a balanced layout by applying advanced tools for formatting text also has a significant impact on the overall professionalism a magazine conveys. In addition to paragraph styles and character styles, there are additional InDesign tools you can use to improve your multi-page layout and turn a dull layout into one that's dynamic and engaging. So, grep, general regular expression parser styles, are a powerful tool used to apply formatting to text. Grep styles let you apply a character style to text no matter where it appears in the paragraph. Nested line styles: wouldn't it be cool if you could automatically format various sections of a paragraph individually? For instance, what if it was possible to format the first sentence of a paragraph one way and then format the next sentence a different way? That's the advantage of using nested line styles. Nested styles are a common typographic treatment in magazine layout and is to use, hold on, I read that sentence wrong. A common typographic treatment in magazine layout is to use a specific style, such as a drop cap, to begin a story. Nested styles allow you to apply character formatting at the beginning and end of a paragraph. Then we have the eyedropper tool. So you usually think of the eyedropper tool, again, for color, but you can use the eyedropper tool for text as well. When you're laying out a document, you often find it necessary to copy text formatting from one place to another. The eyedropper tool is not just for picking up color attributes. It also speeds up your workflow by simplifying the task of picking up text attributes from one paragraph item and applying it to another. Good magazine design starts with understanding the fundamentals. The more you know, the faster you work. Be creative, look for new solutions and ways of thinking. Unleash the power of InDesign to create designs that are engaging and readable. So here's your prompt for this week. After completing the editorial article in week 1, it's now time to tackle the feature article, the main story in the magazine that explores a particular topic of human interest with details that make for enjoyable reading. For this assignment, you will be designing your 3-page feature article. All of the assets required for this assignment are located in week 1's assignment. You will be using the same magazine that you chose in week 1. So your instructions are, if you haven't already, please download the feature article folder. In the 8-page document that you set up in week 1, you'll be using pages 3 to 6 for your feature article. Use all copy provided for the feature article. Use all of the images provided for the feature article. Additional images are not approved. Use linked text frames to connect feature copy from pages 3 to 6. Before you begin your layout, before layout begins, the following design elements must be established. That sentence is incorrect. I'm gonna have to let somebody know. Before the layout begins, the following design elements must be established. Create a second master page to include the following folio elements: page numbers, the magazine logo, the current month and year, and the magazine website. Develop a baseline grid to align your text and images. Create new paragraph and style sheets and apply them to the following: headline, article intro, author byline, body copy, bulleted or numbered list, drop cap, 1 is required, subheadings, and 2 pull quotes are required. So per submission requirements, package your InDesign file and save your package folder as a zip file and name it 243 assignment 2, first last name. So this is kind of what you can do for this week. As far as file management goes, it's really up to you how you want to put this together. What I like to do is I like to make a copy of my folder from week 1 and put it into week 2, just so that way, if something happens, and probably the easiest way to do that would be to open up your assignment for week 1. Just open up the InDesign file. Oops, that was the IDML. Wrong file. I'm gonna have to wait for the whole process of it opening too before I can close it down. Don't save. Open your InDesign file, there we go, and do a file save as immediately, and navigate and put it in week 2. And you can rename it to assignment 2 when you're putting it into week 2. So it's probably the easiest way to get that started. All right, so let's start where we need to begin before we even get into this, creating that second master page. Let's look over our featured article. So I'm going to, in this folder, or in this Finder window, I'm going to go to week 2. And then I'm going to open up another Finder window over here. So I've got them side by side. And I'm going to find my article. Here's my article. The one named Featured, that's my feature article. Open that up in Word. And again, make sure that you fix the spelling errors. There we go. And I just right click on them and select the correct spelling instead of like retyping it. Various thickness is. That's a long article. Again, you know, this will take you a minute, but it's a lot easier to do this in Word than it is to do this in InDesign. This time I'm going to save it. I didn't save it last time just because, and I was doing another demo yesterday and I had to go back through. So it's a whole thing. All right, so hopefully I got it all. All right, I can leave that open. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab all of my feature images and I'm going to have to do the same exact thing that I did last time, which is make sure that they're all ready for print by bringing them into Photoshop. I apologize if you can hear snoring in the background. Mr. Gohan came to our live session this morning and apparently I'm boring him. All right, so image mode, CMYK for this one. Size, that one's 300, so that's good. So we'll save that and close it. CMYK. Size, again, that one's already 300, so I'll save it and close it. CMYK. This guy's a little pink. Not gonna lie, a little bit of a lot of magenta going on in there. Might just color correct him just a smidge. You don't have to do this, but there, looks a little bit better. Make sure he's 300 DPI. He is. And last but not least, this one is not 300 DPI, so save that and save. All right, and back into InDesign. So we're going to be working on page 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hold on. We'll read that again. You have a 3-page article, which will need to connect your copy from page 3 to 6. That's technically 4 pages. Because page 3, page 4, page 5, and page 6 equals 4 pages. So there was some problem with the wording last week. So let me look ahead to next week just to make sure that we have this correct. All right, so week 3, using page 8 for your full page advertisement. All right, that makes sense. And that does not go with this. And then what is week 4? Tying up loose ends. So you're going to design the cover, which is page 1, the table of contents, which is page 2, and then creating the interactive PDF. All right, so it does go across 4 pages. So I am going to let them know that this should say that it is a 4-page feature article, because page 3, page 4, page 5, and page 6, that's 4 pages. So I will let them know. I just wanted to double check that I wasn't missing something, and you're going to have a full page ad here, and you are going to have your cover here. All right. So again, good to double check things. I'm going to pull my paragraph and character styles out. And I'll see if I can just nest this guy over here a little bit more, because I know I'm going to need those, and I need to make another master page. And the reason why is I'm going to attach this second master page that I make. I'm only going to attach it to page 3, 4, 5, and 6. But I'm going to base it off of the master page I'm already using. So what you want to do is select your master page, and you want to say new master and name it B, and you can base it on either none or base it on your A master. I personally would choose to base it on your A master because it's already got a folio set up, so don't reinvent the wheel with this, and then hit OK. And then to just double check that it is set up correctly, you're going to want to drop B right there. See how I'm dropping each page the side? So I grab this side to drop on page 3. I grab the left-hand side to drop here, the right-hand side to drop here, and then the left-hand side to drop right here. I can show you that again. So I grabbed this one right here, dropped it on top of this page. I grabbed this one, although you can, and dropped it on top of this page. I grabbed this one and dropped it on top of this page, and then I grabbed this one again, dropped it on top of this page. And master A is still applied to the other pages. So you can double check and see what things look like. Nothing should have really changed because we based it off of master page A. So the folio is still there, the numbers are still going in order. That's good. All right, so in my master page, I need to have the page number and the magazine logo and the current month and year. And you can kind of set this up however you would like. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the logo over here with the current month and year and leave the page number by itself on whatever side that I have the page number residing in. And layers. I don't know why it's not letting me select. Oh, I know why. Because it's based off of that, so I can't change it. But that's okay, I wasn't going to change it anyways. I just wanted to remember what I use for a font. Varix OT. Let me just copy that. Copy that text box. There we go. What did I just do? Nope. And I'm going to right justify that. Place it right against this column. And I'm going to place my logo right in here. So I'm going to find that logo. Week 1. Assignment, Remodeler Magazine, images. Oh, the flags, that's where it is. Black background, black. I want the black no background for here because it's going to be a little bit simpler. I'm going to try to start it right here, right to the end. And move it down to that line. And then I'm going to have my date, which I need to do the month and the year. So by the time we finish this, it's going to be August. I'm going to do August 2008. Maybe with a bullet. Maybe not a bullet. Maybe like a star or something. It's a Remodeler magazine. Ooh, I can do something fun. I know what I can do there. Because we're remodeling. And turn it into a little screw. Little Phillips head screw. My colors. Or actually, where's my swatches? That's what I'm looking for. Oh, swatches, swatches, swatches. There you are. And rotate that. And we'll line those. And align this. And just make sure it's nice and even. Maybe the black's a little bit too much, so maybe I'll bring that black down to make it a gray so it doesn't stand out and kind of take away from everything else. Had that nice gray. There we go. And then I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to group these, or actually I'm not going to group that yet. I'm going to make a copy of this by holding down Option. I'm going to drag this over here. And then this is now going to need to be left justified, so that might screw this up a little bit. Make a copy of this. There we go. Actually, you can bring that right in to your text box and vertically center it. There we go. I'll just copy that whole thing into this text box. There we go. Save that, and now I can check my pages. Pretty cool. Getting just something a little bit different. Make sure everything's lined up where it's supposed to be. Looks good. All right. So I kind of like the idea of how I've used that, I can't even remember the name of it, font. I gotta look. Master A. Variax. Maybe I'm gonna use that somewhere on that article. Maybe that will be my headline or something on my featured article. I should keep that in mind. All right, so I've taken care of, I've got my page number, I have my magazine logo, I have the current month and year. Oh, I don't have the magazine website, which must be I'm not sure if it says the website anywhere. So you might be coming up with a website on your own. Unless if it's on, something else. I don't see it here. So we'll come up with the website ourselves. So I'm just going to do www.remodelermagazine.com. It's back into the master. And I'm going to use this text box. And I'm going to center it over here. Bring that font size down. I'm just going to say www.remodeler.com. And let me make that the gray. Maybe this text should be gray too. Just kind of spitballing ideas here. And remodeler magazine.com, and I don't think that that's the greatest font for this. So I'm going to use my Source Sans Pro. Regular. This is 12. This 14, because I feel like that's kind of important. That's pretty cool. All right, so I have this lined up this, but I think it should be kind of in the middle of these two columns. So that's what I'm going to do. Make a copy of this, drag it here, and oh, whoops, I almost forgot to change this one to the gray. And let's double check that again and preview, whoops, preview it. I'm almost thinking I should probably change that font to the Source Sans Pro as well. See what it looks like. And 14-point type. Just want to, I want to get this right. Maybe it's the placement. The date isn't that important. I'm thinking, the logo and the web address, way more important than the date. And everybody knows to add in the www.com. So maybe do something like this. Actually, that might be too much, adding the logo in there. So let's see. Let's make a copy of this. And make a copy of this. I want to make sure I have them equal distance from each other, from the number. Love to use squares for things like this. Ooh, I was so close. All right, let's get a feel for that again. I don't know, this font's throwing me off. Now this font's throwing me off. I think I need to change the font on that page too. All right. So I'm going to no longer base this on A. I'm going to base it on none. That'll get rid of those folios that I added in. I'm just going to put in a new folio. However, I do want it to be the same point size. I'm just going to change the font. So I'm going to copy this, do a paste in place. And copy this. This really is a process, folks. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta try things a couple of different times. There, that feels a little bit better. I still feel like it's almost too much information at the bottom of the page right here, but if that's what the client wants, then that's what the client wants. That's bothering me too. I have so many things that are just bothering me about this. Just want to be better centered. Might need to. Oh. One more time. Maybe this. These are the design decisions that will end up driving you bananas. I just want to make sure I have enough room. I'm not getting too close to the bottom of the page here. I'm a good quarter of an inch, so that's good. All right. That might work a little bit better. Putting it back here. Moving it just a little. Maybe centered under Vermont. No. First instinct. All right. Let's see. Grab this, make a copy. And make a copy of you. And hope you're done. All right, I think that that's good. All right, now that we've done that, our folio for 20 years. All right, so let's define some new paragraph and character styles for this article. So what I like to do is I like to look at the article first in Word and kind of set up my my paragraph. So heading 1 can be my main heading. I know that this is going to need to be a subheading. I need an author byline, so I'll set that up like this. Body copy is fine. Bulleted number list. So anywhere where there are bullets. I went over this last week, but you're going to want to take the bullets out of the Word document. And just so you don't forget that they're bullets, maybe highlight it so that way you can visually see where those bullet points are supposed to go in InDesign so you don't forget to put them in. Makes it a little bit easier. Otherwise, you have to go in and manually take out the bullets. Then we also need a drop cap, which I'm going to do the beginning of the story. Again, some subheaders. So that would be a subheader. This will be a subheader. This will be a subheader. And I need to think of what can work for a pull quote. This seems like something that might work for a pull quote, so I'm going to put that right here. Intense quote, so I don't forget about that. Lots of subheadings here. My subheadings are going to have to be kind of subtle. I need one more pull quote. I can decide my next pull quote though once I get in there. All right. So let's look at my paragraph styles. You can see that I have all of these styles that I used for my editorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab them all and I'm going to put them into a group, a new style group. And I'm going to name that style group editorial. Just so that way I don't have all of these styles kind of running all over the place in my style sheet. And then I'm going to make a copy of it. Come on. Oh, or not, because it doesn't want to work that way. I'm going to name this featured article. And I can do it this way then. No. Oh, you should make a copy of something. There we go. I'm going to have to do it one at a time. Dragging it on, dragging it in, dragging it on, dragging it in. Because again, I'm going to change up the fonts, but there's really no reason to reinvent the wheel here. Remember, we're all about working efficiently. And let's see. I have 3 photos that I'm going to have to use, and I need 2 pull quotes, and I need headline, article, intro. So this is going to be my article intro. We want to make that caps. All right, there we go. I'll just do heading 3 for that so I can see where it is. All right. And first things first, I'm going to just kind of draw out some text boxes here so I can start getting this copy onto the page. So this is going to be my headline copy. Are you sure you want to insulate your attic? Which, asking that question in New England seems pretty silly. Obviously, this font not going to work for that headline. I'm gonna name this featured, headline featured. Let's see. That font I wanted to use began with a V. Really need to bring down the font size. 20-point type seems really small. 30. Let's try 34 over 36. I want to get rid of that rule. And probably want a color. Maybe that purple, so it stands out. And let's see. Maybe I'll center this one. Yeah, I don't know. That might be just too much. It's a little bit difficult to read. It's just like too much. But I want something that says home improvement. Let's see. I'm gonna try Font Squirrel. I have good luck with Font Squirrel. It's a different font resource than, I feel like every time I check this one, it's not free, though. Right. Or this one. Right, these ones aren't free. Display, maybe not display so much as a heading. Bevan might work. Arvo might work. That's a little too bold because that's a long headline. That's a problem. That's a really long headline. Or Automat, maybe. Let's test drive it. Yeah, see, that's not, I don't like that. What's bold? Bold might be a little bit better. Let's test drive this one. This could be good. Let's try this one. So I'm going to download it, and then I'm just going to have to load it on my machine. And this is one of those times where you would definitely need to make sure that you're packaging, so you package those fonts. Oh, actually, that Grutch shape, where did that come from? Because that would have worked. Where have you been? Let's try you for a minute. That's kind of what I was looking for. Not found. Oh, because you're not touched. There we go. Ugh. No. No. Sorry. And better. Let's redefine that style. Are you sure you want to insulate your attic? Why, yes. Yes, I am. Not caps. All right, so I need a sub-headline. I want to be that bitter, but probably the regular. Where are you? There you go. Maybe the italic. 16 point seems good. Although red, not a good choice, not a good color choice. Where's my color? There we go. I was worried that you can't really see the gray though. Let's go black. And then this is my author byline. Again, will be the bitter, regular. I'm going to just go with 12 point type. And I'm going to center both of those. It'd be easier just to center it here and then redefine the style. There we go. All right, and then I can start drawing some text boxes again for my article. And because I'm spanning so many pages, I don't think I'm going to do all 4 columns. I think I might do 2 columns and see how that works. So let's try that. So again, I have this, well, I have my first paragraph needs to stand out. So I'm going to copy that one. These paragraphs in. And I think I'm going to go with possibly a serif font this time from my body copy. And what are we calling this? Let me see. The article intro. So let me make a copy of this. I'm going to call it article intro. And let's see. Maybe I'll go with Garamond. That's a good, easy to read font. And that got weird. Oh, I know why. I'm gonna have to probably tell only the first line to align to the grid. I don't know if I'm a fan of Garamond with those 2 fonts though. Let me see. Let's go to Typekit for a second. Never wants to keep me signed into things these days. And I want a serif font. that's easy to read. So maybe just a medium weight. I do like Mrs. Eves. Let's see. Oh, this one might be one that you have to buy, though. I feel like every time I'm like, I like this, it's because it's not free. Oh, it is free. All right. Let's sync Mrs. Eves. There we go. Woo, again, close. I'm gonna have to clear some of those out. Come on. We'll go with a regular, just a little bit larger. And maybe a character color. All right. And then for body copy feature, go with Mrs. Eves, regular 12/14. We'll say okay. Now let's grab all of this, including what I'm going to use for a pull quote. Oops, missed one. So your pull quote needs to be part of the actual article, and then it also needs to stand out somewhere. So it needs to be in there twice, because you don't want to take it out because that's going to affect your readability. So just kind of bear that in mind. My machine sounds like it's gonna fly off into space right now. It's running on full speed ahead, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of some of these extra returns. Actually, might be easier to get rid of in Word. Let's get rid of them in Word. Make our life a little bit easier. Because we have those paragraphs. Our paragraphs are set up with the extra space at the end. Easier to set up this way. I think it's easier to kind of change all of your type problems in Word rather than try and do it in InDesign afterwards. You tend to notice it better. All right, there we go. And way easier, just copy and paste this back in. There we go. Link these. And if we need to, it'll go over to that one because we're going to have some pull quotes we need to put in, and we're going to have some images that we need to put in. And I might not get to designing all of this today. All right, so I need to add in a subheadline. I think I'm going to base my subheadline off of my headline. But I'm going to name, I need a second subheadline. Like this is going to be like a subheadline 2. So I want to duplicate this style. I'm going to name it subheadline body copy. And I'm going to leave it hit OK. Bring the font size down. I think I'm going to leave the leading. Leave the leading where it is. And I think instead of being italic, I'm just going to make it regular and then change the color. This one, my bullets start. Yes. So here are my bullets. Which where are you? I know I had bullets somewhere. Didn't I? Maybe not. We're going to base it on body copy. All right, so bullets are a little bit tricky, and I kind of did this yesterday. I wish I could make this a little bit smaller so I can see what I'm doing. So you want to select bullets as your type, and then whatever your left indent is, your first line indent is going to be the negative of it. So let's say if I do 0.125, I need to move this back negative 0.125. And what that does is it lines up the text. See how it's where the return is? It leaves that space. So that's how you set that up. Although I don't want all of that space underneath. No space after. Bullet points should be. All right, this one I need to change just a little and add the space in between that paragraph. There you go. So bullets, same thing here, just add the space in there. And remember, I haven't even added in the text yet. Where to work best? I got those ones. How much to buy before you begin has bullet points. These are bullet points. These bullet points, yes. Any more? No. All right, so what I'm going to do when it comes to my pull quotes is I'm going to run my pull quotes from kind of inset in here. I also need to look at my images and see, all right, where should go, what should go where, what should be happening. Let's take a look at those images. All right, make sure these are the ones. Got a pretty big image here, which is good. I'll do something weird with my image. Like I already have a nice big, I need to look at my layout overall as well. And I have a pretty nice big image going on right here. So I don't want to kind of set this up the same exact way. So that's something I need to consider. Oh, whatever. I don't want it to sit right on top of my logo down there. I kind of wanted to do something cool with this image. Is that 3.75? 3.75 by 3.75. 2. I don't know if this is going to work or if it's just going to look weird, but we'll see. What am I looking for here? Pathfinder. There we go. Now, I wanted you to combined. Maybe not. Oh, come on. Maybe I should work on my pull quote first. Sometimes I'm, you know. All right, so where's work best? Works best for addicts, standard joist spacing, blah, blah, blah. This is my pull quote, or my first one. While you're considering, where are you? I'm going to put, the quote's actually over here, but I'm going to put it in over here. So I'm going to draw a box that just kind of breaks the plane. I'm actually, whoops. And go to the middle, each of these. Draw a text box in the middle of it. And I'm going to use, I think, my subheadline. Make a copy of that based on subheadline. I'm going to call this pull quote. I don't want it to link to my baseline grid or to align to my grid. And I go with that nice purple. And then my text frame options, which I recall from yesterday, I almost forgot where it was. I'm gonna vertically center it in the space. And I think I'm gonna add a rule above and below. He'd have to keep doing this to see what I'm doing. .25. thin, thick. And then a little above, it's going to be the same, but it's going to be thick, thin. 0.25. It needs to be a little bit bigger. So it looks even. Okay. And then I'm going to use this box that I drew to run the text around it. Nope, wrong one. Actually, delete that. I'll try to use this box as my runaround text. It's my options. Where are you? Text wrap. There we go. Where'd you go? All right. So I got that nice pull quote going in the middle right here, but it's causing some weird things to happen, as you can see with the word. This word right here is all on a line by itself. So I need to see if I can maybe close that up a little bit. Looks like I got it. That looks better. And I need to edit just this line, but I might do that after to bump it up and line it up with this line. I just want to make sure that, you know, no, that probably won't move again. Oh, I gotta fix it on this line. And close this text box up. No, you still want to do it? Okay. Fine, fine, fine. Leave it as it is. Save, because I've done a whole lot of stuff here. Then I still have a couple more images I have to add in. I think I'm gonna add an image on this page, and then the second pull quote on this page and an image. So I have, all right, this, my, you know, this image, and I have that image of the R insulation, which they're talking about over here. I believe that's what that is. IR camera. So I want to kind of put things where it makes sense for them to go. Oh, they're talking about the IR camera right here. Maybe I can switch out this image. Let's see. The IR camera image. Then then they're talking about measurements over here. So it might make sense to put this image over here. So I'm going to resize this, X, do a Command X, and then I'm going to paste it. No, I want you to, yes, but there we go. Paste it into my text box. And then I have this guy and this guy. Both of them are doing work on my attic. So let's see, maybe this guy I can fit in down here. Kind of let him go right to the edge of the page. And I still need to fit in one more pull quote, so I'm worried about running out of room. And I need to find a good pull quote. It doesn't need to be as long as this one was. It's another good little thing to. Oh, I don't like how it's doing this. I don't like that. Oops. All right, text wrap, let's see. Oop, wrong one. I'll just manually fix this. Up just a smidge. There we go. I feel like This got weird. It did get weird. All right, well, that fixed it, whatever it was. And then this I can't have by itself, so I gotta close that up a little. Move this down a bit. It should be as large as you have the other one, because you're using a, I'm sorry, I just saw your question. Because you're using a style so that you want to apply both styles to both pull quotes. It doesn't have to be like as many words, but the text needs to be set up the same. Oh, here's a good pull quote. Well, you're, oh, wait. It's the same one I already have. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. Let's try this. We'll just do this. Always work from the outer perimeter towards the exit. We'll put that down here. And like that, and we'll let this come up. All right, so there's my second pull quote, and I still need to fit in my last image. And I'll probably put it somewhere in here. And it came up a little bit. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't have a ton of room there. Let me see, let me see, let me see. I changed this one out with this guy. And I'm going to do something really weird down here with my last image. What do you mean the box? The text box? You can make the text box any size that you want the text box to be for your pull quote. It's just that you want to make sure that that you're using the same style attached to the pull quote. And maybe do something kind of weird. This down here with these images. Oops. Send that one to the back. Send that one to the back. Close this up like this. And then do a feather gradient maybe. Whoops. And then just on this, I'm going to put a white outline so it just is enough to make it stand out over that text. Yep, my text right now is on top of the picture. All right, so let's take a quick peek at this. So I'll move that down so that, come on. Oh well. Kind of running out of time here. All right, that worked. Want to get that line up to here because it goes together, and then I didn't want to leave that one line of the next paragraph. Save this. And then what I need to do is I need to remember to package this because I imported those fonts other than the ones from Typekit. Plus, it's a good habit. You should package it every single time. And you do need to submit the package file. So don't just work out of the one from week 1 and just save it and then just zip it, because there could be, you know, the images that you add won't be in there. And any fonts that you add might not be in there. So you want to make sure that you package it each time for each week. Assignment 2, make sure I have my PDF in there. and double check my file. Double check those PDFs. Again, page 1 should still be blank. My article from last week. Here's my featured article. Which again has all my stuff in it. All my images are in there. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, so, and then once I make sure everything looks good, again, zip your file by compressing it, and you're gonna wanna upload it, double check everything to the rubric to make sure that you've met all of the criteria for everything. And we have all of, oh, I forgot my drop cap. See? Good thing I double checked. Add that in. Right here. Oh, I'm going to base this off of body copy featured. There we go. I hope that didn't screw it up too much. It might have. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, yep, that kind of screwed things up a little. I think I know how to fix it though. Let's close this image up. And close it up a little bit more. I can just bump that. There we go. All right. Whew. Just needed to get that line on page 1 back up. All right, there we go. Save this again. Make a new PDF. None of my images or my fonts changed, so I don't need to make another another package file. I just want to make sure I'm saving within my package file, but I would need to rezip the file. Good thing I checked that. I always check the rubric. Saw that just as I was about to say that we were done for the day. There we go. There's my drop cap. All right. Close that up, and then I would re-zip that file, so I delete that zip folder, recompress it, and upload it. All right, so I know that just that one article, again, really a lot goes into it. So you really need to think out all of the different pieces that go along. And like I said, try to use Microsoft Word and kind of lay it out almost in Word, like, all right, where are your sub-headlines located? Where are your bullet points located? Take the bullets out, but highlight them. Try to see if you can grab yourself some pull quotes right in Word so you know where they're located, so you can kind of just reference back to Word. I think that'll make it a little bit easier for you. If you have any questions this week, please feel free to email me And I definitely look forward to seeing all of your designs this week. So good luck, have fun with them. Again, take your time with that quiz, and I will see you all in our live session next week. All right, have a great day.